Hey guys, Sean from Graphic Elements. This video is going to be an amendment to the router sled assembly video, specifically the full-size router sled assembly video. We've been selling our router sleds for like 4 or 5 years now, and we actually had a dust collection system that was okay. It was kind of primitive, it worked, but there's better solutions which we've come up with now, so that's what this video is about. It's basically taking over from the dust collection point of view of the other video, which is now obsolete because we now have a different type of dust collection set up on these router bases. So the prior generation of our dust collection system used this 2.5-inch fitting, and this current generation still uses it, but the prior generation used just a basic PVC shroud that would attach around the entire perimeter of these router bases. And again, it worked, but it wasn't great. So the new version, which is compatible with all Crafted Elements router bases, version 2.0 and up. So if you've got a Crafted Elements router base, it says V2.0 or V2.1 or whatever, as long as it's 2.0 or over, they are pre-drilled for the holes for this new router sled dust collection system, as well as our little cool push stick system, which I will show you as well in this video. So I want to just go over this really quickly. So again, version 2.0 of the U1, BL, and the Festool bases is all the same, but depending on the version you're ordering will correspond to the design of the track. So this track is 3D printed, and we've done quite a few revisions of this, but we're finally ready to release it to you guys. And I want to quickly go over how to install it very, very easily. So, all right, so the first thing you're going to do with your router sled base is flip it around. So the logo's on that side, you're going to flip it around here. And then you're going to line this guy up with these flanges touching this, and you'll pretty quickly see where those holes line up. You're going to grab some coarse screws, which are included in the kit. I think they are an M4 by 12 mil coarse screw. Use a screwdriver. Don't use a drill, because if you over tighten these things, you're going to strip the acrylic and it's not going to work so well. So just use a screwdriver. Go around and install, I think there's 5 or 6 screws depending on the track. All right, so screws are installed, track is installed. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and install the angled base. And you just, again, same thing, we're going to line that up with those screw holes there, generally away from the router, because the idea is your vacuum tube is going to come over here and attach to this. If you've got a 4-inch vacuum, you just need a 4-inch to 2.5-inch adapter, or just get 2.5-inch hose to 4-inch, whatever. These are obviously too small to put a full 4-inch adapter on for a 4-inch hose. Right, you can see it makes sense now. You're creating a channel of air. Flip it back over, and then you grab the dust brush that we provide. These are a little bit long, so you want to install this in such a way, and then when you come to the end, you can trim the end just using some super sharp scissors. And it doesn't really matter where you start. I'd probably start kind of in the middle over here, and you really just got to push this into the track. Now you'll notice that the track uses tension to hold this in place. Long term, this may end up getting loose depending on how aggressive you are with this, and depending on how much this rides back and forth on your wood. So if you want to make this a permanent fixture, you can just actually apply some hot glue in here or some super glue in here, and then put this down. The glue will bond to this and it'll bond to the plastic, and this thing will not come out. The disadvantage of doing that is that it's not replaceable. If you want to ever replace this brush, you have to replace the track and this. So I'm going to leave it up to you whether you want to just use the tension provided here, or if you actually want to glue it down. All right, so this brush fit okay. Some of the brushes we have are just a little bit long, so you would just take this and then cut it here, and then it'll be fine. So just stretch it out, make sure it's going all the way, and you've got a nice connection there. And that's it. And then you can now resume the rest of that installation video where it shows you how to mount this to the actual router bearings and the carriage and assembly there. The other thing I want to show you is this kind of feature. Now what we did here is we've implemented some custom designed parts that accept a broom handle end or like a paint stick end. And what that does is allow you to attach these guys in here and actually have a device that you can push and pull this along the router sled. So instead of having to, do this and grab the router and push and pull, you can actually use a stick And it's particularly handy more with the 48-inch version and the 60-inch version widths of these, because obviously it's very far to reach your arms across the table. So easy enough installation. One of these guys off of this bracket. Let's take both of them off of the bracket here to get the fitting on. Attach this custom fitting that we have here, just like that, and then reverse. Bring it all the way up here. Now when you drop this guy in, you'll see that goes here, and then you'll use the two lock nuts that we provide to finish this job. And you'll obviously want to get a wrench or a socket set to tighten these, because these lock nuts will not obviously go on all the way by hand. Got my 1/2-inch socket, and we'll just use that to tighten up these lock nuts. All right, so dust kit is installed, push stick adapters installed, and just to demonstrate, I've got this painting pull standard end. I wouldn't get anything this long. 36 to 40 inches is fine. You can see it just screws in here. It will provide enough support that you can push it back and forth and avoid having to stretch your arms over the table. Okay, so that covers version 2.0 of the router base, and obviously version 2.0 of our dust collection kits, as well as our cool push stick adapter. You can buy both of these items as accessories to your router sled at craftelements.com. If you've got an older base before 2.0, you can buy a complete new acrylic parts kit if it's really worth it to you to have the new dust collection and this feature. I'll leave it up to you whether you want to do that or not, but we definitely do sell the acrylic parts kits if you want to use, if you want to upgrade your old Crafted Elements router base to the 2.0 version. I should also say that the 2.0 version has a larger diameter hole. So this is actually designed, I think it's 2.75 inch. So it's actually designed to allow you to use 2.5 inch or smaller width spoil bore bits, which it was less before, and it was a problem getting some of those bigger spoil bore bits in there, but that bigger hole solves that problem. So we've got a couple of different revisions to this 2.0 design, which might make it worth your while if you've already got one of our router sleds from the past. Thanks for watching this video, and any questions, of course, you can email us at craftedelements, info@craftedelements.com, or use the contact button on the website. Thanks again, we'll see you later.